You are listening to Artificial Evidence, where the algorithm knows. I am Owen Carver. Today's case takes us to the small town of Mill Creek, Oregon, in the summer of 1974, a place where people left their doors unlocked and trusted their neighbors. That trust was shattered when a stack of unmarked VHS tapes was discovered in an abandoned storage unit. Inside were hours of footage, filmed in secret, showing something horrifying. Not murders, not kidnappings, executions, carefully staged, brutally efficient. The people in the videos were never reported missing. No police reports, no known crimes, as if they had never existed at all. Who were they? Who filmed these tapes? And how did they stay hidden for so long? This is the story of the Mill Creek execution tapes. Mill Creek, Oregon was the kind of place that barely made the map. A few thousand people, one main street, a handful of businesses, and thick forests pressing in from all sides. It was quiet, safe, until the summer of 1974, when an auction house in nearby Salem put up a batch of abandoned storage units for sale. Most were filled with the usual junk, old furniture, yellowed newspapers, water-damaged boxes. But one unit was different. The buyer, a man named Harold Fisher, found a heavy metal cabinet locked in the back of the unit. When he finally pried it open, he found a stack of VHS tapes, 37 in total, each labeled with nothing but a date. Harold was expecting home videos, maybe old TV recordings, but when he put the first tape into his player, he realized he had found something else entirely. The footage was grainy, black and white, the kind of low-budget surveillance feed used in security cameras. It showed a concrete room, bare walls, a single overhead light. In the center, a man sat in a chair, blindfolded, hands bound. There was no sound. The camera never moved. Then, after a few minutes, a second figure entered the frame, dressed in dark clothing, face covered. They approached the seated man, placed a gun to the back of his head, and pulled the trigger. The body slumped forward. The figure left. The screen cut to black. Every tape was the same. A different victim, a different date. No struggle, no hesitation. Just cold, methodical executions. The earliest tape was dated April 3rd, 1968. The most recent, July 15th, 1974. 6 years of killings, carefully filmed and catalogued, stored away as if they were nothing more than office records. Harold Fisher brought the tapes to the police, and soon, a full-scale investigation was underway. Detectives tried to identify the victims, but they hit a wall. There were no missing persons reports that matched. No one had come forward looking for these people. It was as if they had never existed at all. Then came the other discovery. Each execution was precise, clinical. The victims showed no signs of struggle. Their clothes were clean, their hair neatly trimmed. Someone had been taking care of them, keeping them alive, feeding them. But for what purpose? And who had been filming? When forensic experts analyzed the footage, they noticed a small but crucial detail. The victims always wore the same shoes, black, plain, military-style boots. Then they found something even stranger. At exactly 2 minutes and 17 seconds into each tape, the overhead light flickered, just for a split second. The same moment, every single time. That meant one of two things. Either the executions were staged in the same location, using the same faulty light fixture for over 6 years, or the same tape had been recorded over, again and again, showing different victims in the exact same chair. That was when police shifted their focus. Not to the storage unit, not to the victims, but to the location. And that was when they made the final chilling discovery. A warehouse on the outskirts of town, long abandoned, scheduled for demolition. Inside, buried beneath layers of dust and debris, they found a room. Concrete walls, a single overhead light, and an old chair bolted to the floor. But there were no bodies, no blood, no signs of a struggle. Just the faint smell of bleach. As if someone had already been there, as if someone had been watching. The case remains unsolved. No suspects, no names, no motive, just the tapes. And the question that still haunts Mill Creek to this day: where did the victims come from? And how many more tapes are still out there? Thank you for listening to Artificial Evidence. If you want to support the show, be sure to like and subscribe. And remember, the algorithm knows.